Hi, I'm Jane King, and thank you for watching. This show is all about public, private, and blockchain companies. We bring you the innovators behind the companies making the headlines in that space. Some are sponsored, some are invited, all are curated and focused on telling you, the viewers, their story. Here we go. Global Wellness Strategies invests in high growth companies in the wellness industry and then helps them as they continue to grow. And with me is CEO Meris Kott to tell me more about global wellness. And I understand you just had a recent symbol change. So can you explain the new symbol? What was behind that decision?
Well, it was really sad to say goodbye to our old symbol because it was loan. And that was the first infusion into some of the companies that we're working with. But we decided that we really wanted to go into an area where people would understand where we were heading. It would provide greater visibility with basically the long-term strategy of the company, which is helping companies develop and commercialize medicines. So the Get Well Soon, we're taking a kind of a little push on it to sell, helping you get well soon with our products.
Oh, interesting.
We're hoping to change the OTC symbol as well, but we wanted to make sure that we changed our main exchange, which is the Canadian exchange to begin with. But it was basically so people understood we are a company that's not only funding companies, but companies that help you get well.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's the end result, right? So now also the last time we talked, you had talked about an acquisition, Shanti Therapeutics, and that was an Australian company. How did that go? I know Australia, at least from the U.S. perspective, has been under more strict lockdown than we have, we'll say. I mean, how did you navigate all of that?
It's been a real positive because we were not able to go visit the company themselves, and everybody was under lockdown until last Friday, which ironically they called Freedom Day. We were able to really, Sud Agrawal, the doctor who's in charge of the company, basically he calls it, we sprinted. We had so much time to focus on what they are doing, which is basically changing the puzzle of pain, as I said to you last time. I mean, we're going towards being a first-class biotech company, utilizing a party drug in order to alleviate post-operative pain. And after, I don't want to go right into what we're doing, but the bottom line is it really, really helped us sprint to the next stage of the company's journey. Mm-hmm. So it was a positive for us.
Yeah, interesting. And I think there have been some positives that have come out of this whole experience. We've done things that we wouldn't have thought of before. Now, you mentioned 100%. The party drug. So ecstasy, I assume you're talking about, of course, there's other designer drugs as well. And they're all synthesized by altering the chemical structure of mescaline. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And how do you work around the law with that?
Well, basically, the hype in the capital markets, as you know, based in New York City, has been interest in the research on psychedelics such as psilocybin, ketamine, LSD, and MDMA, which was ecstasy, and we called it Molly in the 80s, for depression, anxiety, PTSD, and most psychiatric disorders. The difference here is little research has been done with psychedelics for chronic pain. So where everybody's worried, everybody's talking about mental health and mental wellness, which is fabulous. People think of MDMA as a super high. So because we've shifted, or Shanti has shifted their focus towards chronic pain, we haven't had people say to us, oh, that's the party drug. You know, when we say to them, well, we're looking for, you know, clinical studies with an IND application through the FDA for drug culminating, you know, in a medicine, they're like, oh, so you're not going to have clinics? So even though it's been very positive, the other psychedelics and their clinics and their, you know, and their microdosing, for us, people immediately know we're going towards pharma. So we haven't had, you know, I get the first few lines that say, oh, you're now doing a party drug. And then the minute I say that we're biotech, everything, the landscape changes, which is fabulous for me.
Well, thank you again, Meris. Good to see you again. And let's do an update early next year when you know those trial results.
Oh, 100%. Happy Friday to you.
You too.
Keeping your four-legged friends healthy can certainly be a challenge, especially with painful joint diseases like osteoarthritis. If you see a change in your animal's mobility, contact your veterinarian and don't wait. Today, veterinarians have a new tool against joint disease. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The natural derived product has the ability to help your animal move more freely. Put the spring back in their lives for a longer, happier life.
Need hearing aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
Helios DX is defining a new era of reliable laboratory testing with fast, accurate results. With a full range of services including urine toxicology, behavioral toxicology, infectious disease, allergy, and other popular test menus. Helios DX, an alternative to national diagnostic laboratories, provides value to patients and physicians through personable and reliable services. To learn more, visit heliosdx.com/labs.
Healixa's technologies are providing fundamental pillars for sustainable communities, and this includes water access, energy, also personal and financial care and healthcare as well. And with me is CEO Ian Parker to give us an update on what Healixa is doing. And my goodness, Ian, I was taking a look. You've had a lot going on, a lot of updates with the company. So bring us up to date on where Healixa is right now.
We have there's been a lot happening on the health tech side. So I want to talk about that for just a moment. We have a lot happening, in terms of releasing our digital pharmacy application. That's going to be the backbone of all the health tech that we release here in the near future. That has gone extraordinarily well in the pilots and is now in the commercialization mode of going out nationwide. So we're building on affiliate pharmacies, and that's been going extraordinarily well. So we're going to keep you posted on that. The part that's really taken off for us is on the water side, is on the atmospheric water generation. We've been invited to Poland. We just recently attended a conference there. We met with the UN. We've met with UNICEF. We have a technology here that has the ability to make a substantial impact on the worldwide, water scarcity crisis.
Well, it's interesting because I've been reading a lot about water and how this could be a major issue in the years ahead. Even wars fought over it. So I don't think people quite realize that. You mentioned the Poland Symposium. So tell me about that. What was that all about?
So that's a NATO special operations symposium. So all of our special operators, Green Berets, Navy SEALs, so forth, all the special operations forces from the U.S., all the special operations forces from NATO, and various other NATO allies. We're at this conference. It's an opportunity for the commanders, the policymakers, the value-added resellers to all share ideas, share challenges, opportunities that they're seeing, and address certain things that can help us be better at special operations, including winning hearts and minds.
Yeah.
So we were invited largely because of the water, our water technology, the atmospheric water harvesting that we have. One of the things that we usually don't think about, we think about water being a problem, in communities, but we don't think about it in terms of our forces on the ground when they're deployed in a particular theater. And that's a big problem. We just assume that the water is going to be there, and it's usually not. So having the ability to extract that directly from the air, put it anywhere we need to, gives our military and our special operations forces the ability to really be mobile and move about as they need to.
Interesting. Yeah, we definitely take water for granted. It's assume it's going to be there and plentifully available and all that. So maybe we should think a little bit more about that. Now, of course, we've got the COP conference going on in Scotland right now. You also have representation there. So what is that meant to accomplish for Healixa?
We got invited to the Glasgow conference largely because of water. Our technology has the ability to make a substantial impact. So we were invited to share our ideas as to how we could potentially get that deployed. When you think about what's happening around the world in terms of water scarcity, you've got 800 children a day dying from various waterborne illnesses and other types of dehydration issues. So every minute counts here. And, in terms of the way we've been thinking about it, the way we've been trying to solve this problem, poking holes in the ground and going around the world doing that, those are all good things, but they're not getting us ahead of the problem. Mm-hmm. There's only so much fresh water that we have on this planet. We have to think different. So if we look at the atmosphere around us, there's an unlimited amount of water in the air right now that we can access. And once we unlock that, we can get ahead of this water crisis. And that's one of the things that excites me getting up in the morning is we're not just doing something that's going to bring our shareholders value, but something that's going to make a substantial impact on the world around us. The one thing I would like to add is we've done a lot with some really great people. We have great people on the health tech side. We have great people on the development side of the water technology. Great team in Mexico, great team in the U.S., great team in Spain, and I want to thank them all. It's really fun to work with people that just continue to drive significant value for our shareholders. I also would like to thank some of the people that are starting to build awareness for us, such as Denver Regelman, former congressman. He's been a big advocate for ours in the DC area, and I want to thank him for that as well.
Okay, well, best of luck, because it's certainly an issue for the future that a lot of people are starting to notice. So thank you so much, Ian, for coming back. I look forward to more updates.
Thank you, Jane.
Keeping your four-legged friends healthy can certainly be a challenge, especially with painful joint diseases like osteoarthritis. If you see a change in your animal's mobility, contact your veterinarian and don't wait. Today, veterinarians have a new tool against joint disease. Introducing Spring with OsteoCushion technology. The natural-derived product has the ability to help your animal move more freely. Put the spring back in their lives for a longer, happier life.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit StrikeForceTech.com today.
aids? Tired of paying $5,000 or more? Tired of making multiple trips to have your hearing aids adjusted? Now you don't have to. Our Hear IQ 4 medical grade hearing aids are fully rechargeable, Bluetooth compatible, and start at under $1,000 for a complete set or monthly payments of $44. Our hearing aids are self-adjusting using any smartphone and features remote programming by hearing care professionals without you ever leaving home. Order your pair today at myheariq.com.
Helios DX is defining a new era of reliable laboratory testing with fast, accurate results. With a full range of services including urine toxicology, behavioral toxicology, infectious disease, allergy, and other popular test menus. Helios DX, an alternative to national diagnostic laboratories, provides value to patients and physicians through personable and reliable services. To learn more, visit heliosdx.com/labs.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Prism Network gives users and projects the freedom to choose the communities and the ecosystems that they want to be a part of. And this is through their flagship product, the Prism Bridges. And with me is Lachlan Harnell, the co-founder and lead developer. Also Ming Wu, the founder of Strips Finance. And we hope to be hearing from the CEO, Hamza, here from Prism as well. So hopefully he'll join us as the interview is taking place. So Lachlan, let's start. We spoke a couple months ago, I guess it was. Can you give me an update? What's happened since our last interview?
Yeah, so a lot's been added. We are basically just continuing to launch on as many chains as we can get our hands on. So we are now on Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Phantom, Avalanche, XDAI, OKX Chain, and we just launched on Kronos for day one launch. So that's what we're doing with the networks. Behind the scenes as well, been doing a bunch of things, focusing on expanding our community basically and growing the amount of projects we're working with and just offering out even more services. So yeah, a lot of things, but primarily we're also focusing right now on cross-chain swaps in the Bridge Factory.
Well, it's interesting because I've been reading a lot about Avalanche and Polygon lately. So those seem to be kind of up and coming chain networks.
Yeah, definitely. There's been an explosion in all these different sites, like alternative layer ones. Ethereum had the high gas fees, and then I feel like that really drove a lot of people to look elsewhere. And so, that's fundamentally what we're doing, is helping people connect all these chains together, so you can just move your value where you want to move it.
So explain like the user, like who is your typical user? How do they use Prism Network?
So at the moment, Prism Network, you can use the Prism Bridge to move Prism between all these different chains. Okay. So that's allowing people to basically bridge value between all these different chains. That's kind of what we're doing at the moment. We also have Empire Dex as well, which is a decentralized exchange. And that's also on all these different networks. So we're still developing a lot of things. We want to kind of like intermerge the two together. So then you have the cross-chain swaps as well, to be able to trade from any network to any other network.
Yeah, awesome. Okay. So, and Ming Wu, founder of Strips Finance. Tell us about Strips Finance. What is it all about?
Sure. So as you know, interest rates, they dominate everything in finance and also have a very big impact on our economy. But it's always been a very gray area on how interest rate prices are determined and how interest rates are traded in traditional finance. So what Strips is doing is we believe that the future of finance is going to be decentralized, and interest rates being the most important price of all is going to be traded on the blockchain. So what Strips is allowing traders to do is to easily trade interest rates on DeFi through a product called an interest rate swap. And we use a automated market maker model for liquidity. And that is one of the areas that we believe is going to be a very high growth area in DeFi.
Okay, so that's really interesting. So I guess all the people who are affecting the direction of interest rates are part of this chain, this decentralized chain. And through that, you come up with some kind of true market of what the interest rates are for everything that we see interest rates on, mortgages and credit cards and everything?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, so in traditional finance, it's actually very inefficient how they trade interest rates. It's a peer-to-peer market. It's a gray market system where the pricing is not transparent at all. And there is a lot of inefficiencies that is built into the settlement and clearing process. And there's, there's trillions of dollars that is being traded every day on this archaic, outdated system that is running on decades-old technology. And so what we're trying to do is we're taking this problem of, okay, how do we improve the trading experience for interest rates by providing transparent pricing, real-time settlements, leveraging blockchain technology to have automated clearing? And we're starting small. We're beginning in DeFi, but really our long-term vision is to disrupt the whole financial infrastructure, and interest rates are a very important market for us.
Well, thank you so much, Lachlan and Ming, for joining us. Really interesting.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
Great to see you. All right, bye.
Cyber attacks are a global threat affecting consumers and companies. Whether you're using your computer or mobile device to bank, shop, or work remotely, your privacy and corporate data are at risk. For over 20 years, Strikeforce Technologies has developed some of the world's leading cybersecurity solutions. Millions of users around the world have put their trust in us to protect what matters most. Your privacy and data are your business. Protecting it is ours. Visit strikeforcetech.com today.
Secure, the true solution for your digital privacy and security. Secure is a private and secure messaging and email solution hosted in Switzerland, using proprietary military-grade encryption and Swiss privacy laws, giving you true privacy. Secure doesn't collect or sell your data and doesn't require your phone number or any personal data that hackers target. You can message and email non-secure users privately without the need for others to download Secure. Visit secure.com. Regain and protect your privacy today.
Rego is a commerce and banking solution for families, and in particular, kids. And one thing special about Rego is they don't collect any data about the kids. And that is really a key feature, Dan. I mean, we talked a few times, but tell us again, like Rego, what you're offering and why it is a unique product for families.
Yes, thank you, Jane. So Rego is a privacy-first platform, as you kind of rightfully pointed out. We offer a number of neobanking, family-oriented, mobile wallet, e-commerce solutions, both for in-store as well as online purchases, touchless transactions. Mm-hmm. So in the US, mobile wallet, virtual debit cards, that's essentially an $800 billion total addressable market. We're actually addressing the fintech gap for the 70 million or so children that are underserved, kind of in that Gen Z teen space, who are just getting involved with mobile commerce. We hold 3 patents in the areas of privacy, PCI attribution, and identity management, and we're the only certified COPPA, and GDPR mobile wallet. So for those of your viewers that are new to this COPPA topic, and obviously it's been kind of hot and heavy, we've heard it in the press now for the last many weeks, especially with the Facebook and social media endeavors that are happening. It refers to the Child Online Privacy Protection Act. That's obviously gotten a lot of attention. And we're really the only ones that are really leaned into this very early on and are certified as a result. And so we'll talk to you a little about today, Jane, is really kind of this direct to consumer solution that we're launching, I should say have launched, really addresses child financial literacy, access to commerce. So let's call it child empowerment for all intents and purposes, but we never compromise on privacy. And we ensure that kids can learn in a safe and secure environment with parental navigation and oversight.
Okay, well, and let's bring Don in, Don Codling of Codling Group International. So Don, you've got former FBI unit chief. You've also become an expert really in cybersecurity as well, and an advisor to Rego. So, I mean, just tell me about why it's important what Rego is doing in terms of protecting kids. I have a 12 and a 14-year-old. I am a reporter, so I report on hacks. It feels like a daily basis. So just talk about what Rego, what kind of steps they're taking that can make parents feel more comfortable.
Well, thank you, Jane, for having myself and Dan on with you today. It's extraordinarily important for not only parents, but families in general to recognize that data privacy and cybersecurity are absolutely joined together at the hip now. They have been for several years. The whole idea that you can hope to have some privacy as you grow up and not have your data protected is impossible. You have to have both of those things simultaneously. One thing Rego Payments has done from my 10 years of being involved with them as a cybersecurity advisor and privacy advisor is they have always taken to heart, first and foremost, a foundation of privacy and security at the same time, not bolt one on later, not add things on later. This is built from the ground up as a foundational portion of the mantra, if you will, of the entire platform. You must have data privacy. You must have good security. Data privacy, as Dan and I have discussed on numerous occasions, also means don't collect data that you don't need. Don't collect data that will identify that child, particularly under the COPPA, Children's Online Privacy Protection Act standards. And we do not, and we never have.
Okay, thank you so much, Dan and Don, for sharing that. It's important information.
Thank you for having us.